This morning, when I was working on my worm compost, I was emptying it out. There was a lot of it, and there were tons and tons of little wigglies in there, the red wigglers. Anyway, I was working with that and making compost tea to put out in my garden, and I made a huge mess of it. That's another story. But as I was working with that, the word and feeling of it's a Danish word that came to me, and it is Overfloedighedshorn. Can you say that 3 times quickly? And what it means is um, the horn of plenty, or the horn of abundance, Cornucopia. So I just looked it up and to see what it's called in English, and I just told you. And then it says it comes from a Greek mythology, which is a horn that magically refills itself at any time and provides the owner um, unlimited amounts of produce and nourishment. And I thought that's interesting because I am beginning to experience myself as a Overfloedighedshorn, or a horn of plenty, or a horn of abundance. And then, of course, when I get these images and these words, then it starts kind of working me. And then I know there is a YouTube coming, and here it is. And it is because for a little while now, after I've been sharing a lot about the longing and the fulfillment of life, it's the most joyful experience to really live in that all the time. And then I felt like, my goodness, I'm just this open portal, which is I am not Pernilla, but when I experience myself as I am without the identity of Pernilla, we talked about before, and you might want to go back and listen to one of those videos, because once you are who you are consciously, we always are it, but we're not consciously aware of it. But it really feels like I am simply an open portal for the divine to come through. So today I am Overfloedighedshorn. I am Cornucopia. I am a stream of abundance that magically replenishes itself with unlimited amounts of, I would say, infinity. I mean, I can say produce, but it's a lot more than just what we eat. And then living in and as that experience of being that, of course, there is no separation between me and it. And it is just very, very joyful. And the more I practice being there, because it doesn't come natural yet, I hope it will one day. So it's just like, I wake up in the morning and I am consciously, and I am the cornucopia unconsciously, just naturally, right? Instead of putting my attention or abiding in anything other than I am. And that is a practice, and we all benefit from doing that. So being that in that joyful state, because the cornucopia, it's also love and joy and peace and expansion. The cornucopia, it's very thin, right? Narrow at the top, and then it kind of opens up. And then at its opening, it just comes rushing out like endless, endless abundance, endless goodness, endless produce, endless everything good, nothing that is restricted. So it's the ongoing expansion of that. And the more we can become that consciously, well, we keep the door open for that cornucopia to keep giving, to keep giving. And you probably heard the term, the gift that keeps giving. I don't know, that just came in here. And I'm just thinking about that because the cornucopia, it keeps giving. That is the gift. And it is the gift from God, not a God sitting up there going, okay, Pernilla, your door's open. Now I'm going to send something through your door. No, it doesn't work that way. But when I become the door itself, I am consciously, and don't close off from it, but just stay open and then feel the joy in that. And that's the most amazing thing. Just allowing myself to be open to it in such a conscious, wonderful way. It feels like it's already enough. You know what I mean? It's like, gee, this is just a state of joy. And I don't really want anything other than that. Now, do I want money to pay, my groceries, all my expenses? Of course. But who says that that is not part of this cornucopia coming through? So I think as human beings in this deluded state of consciousness where we feel we're separate from cornucopia, it's a new word I can add to my little regimen here. I am cornucopia. And then I want to stitch that back again to a quote that I mentioned the other day where the divine says, I know your needs before you do. And it is my good pleasure to give you the kingdom to fulfill your needs. And you need not take thought for it. Every time we take thought, it's because we go out there to try and figure out how to pay the rent, how to pay the car payment, whatever it is, tuitions, groceries. We go out there and we leave the portal where it comes through. That is the most beautiful thing when that really becomes real and tangible. It's when we leave this joyful state, it's of course being now. It is being I am consciously. It is being here now consciously. And then learning to trust that everything is given and supplied from here. It's just given. The cornucopia, the Overfloedighedshorn. I don't know which is more difficult to say. It just keeps giving magically, as it said when I looked it up. It magically keeps giving. Magic. No tricks, no trying to make it happen. It's just pure magic, because if it is true that the divine is infinity itself, is all present, omnipresent, right? Everywhere, everything. How can there be lack? How is that possible? The way I see it as I speak, the only way we will experience lack is when we leave this portal, this opening to the Overfloedighedshorn, and go out there and think we need to do something. We need to think about it. We need to work hard for it. It's not even that we close the door. We just leave the door where it comes from and where it already is. So this is my absolute joyful sharing, and may it expand. May I, rest here deeper, more confidently. And may that same be for all of us, that we can just confidently begin to feel confidence and understand and accept and realize that I am what I'm looking for. I am what I need. And then come back here. So in the meantime, until we are there fully, we probably need to go out there and do the work we do, right? Because we are not fully here. That means that maybe we have a little sliver open in the portal, or being aware of a little sliver, and there might be little things coming out. You might start noticing, like, oh wow, where did that come from? Suddenly things start showing up. And the more that happens, and the more we notice that and really notice it, like, oh, like a confirmation, when that happens, at least for me, I trust it more and I open up more to it. And when I open up more to it, what do you think happens? More can come through. More of the cornucopia can come through, because now I'm going there to receive it, or to make myself available for what is already here. And then I still need to do my work and do my things in the way I do it. But little by little, this opens up more, and then it will change on the outside. I don't know how. I have no idea. But that's, again, I do not need to take thought for that. I do not need to worry about it. I just need to learn to trust more and more. So the reason I give these little quotes, and the reason I use them myself, because they help me to go here and rest a little deeper. And when I feel that deeper resting, I feel I open up more, and then I feel more joy. And the more joy I feel, the more I want to stay there and open up to that. So it becomes a really positive, self-fulfilling prophecy. And little by little, we become aware that we are the cornucopia, where everything is provided, everything is given, everything is supplied. And I know what I've read from others or heard other people who are living more in that state of consciousness, where they're not so identified with the third dimension, that things just happen. They don't even need to do anything to make things happen. Things show up without them even knowing that they need it. And that has definitely happened to me over the years. And it's always like amazing, because it's such a confirmation. But the work we need to keep doing is come back and unhook from this, and let this fill our life in a way we cannot do ourselves. We can only do what we've been doing out here in the third dimension, in the duality. That's all we've known. And blessedly, things are changing energetically. Consciousness is changing. More and more people are becoming aware that what we're sharing here today is actually what is true. And the more people can talk about it, the more we can share it, then other people may go, oh, right? And open up more to that. And that's how the cornucopia starts sharing itself more consciously with more people. And wouldn't that be the most amazing world to live in, where we can just be fully open and receiving what is already here, what is already given, what is already ours, because that's how it works when you're out of the matrix. Take that in, my friends. Thank you so much. And please go and take a little, can I make a connection with your inner cornucopia, and just open up and let it show you what it is and what is in store for you, for all of us. That's a very joyful sharing. Thank you so much.